Hello, hello, hello. I'll take or give everyone a minute to go on. I want to try to go live on Instagram, but I don't think I will be able to today. I may have to go live on Instagram after I go live on Facebook. So I wanted to say hello, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, or whatever you are in the world. My name is Dr. Tiffany Ross, and I am a therapist, a relationship expert, and owner and CEO of a company called Old to New Creations and Dr. Tiffany Ross Coaching and Consulting. And what we do in our company is provide mental health services for women and businesses. And our company is divided into two areas. We have our coaching services, and that's when we work in or work with women who are experiencing some type of relationship trauma recovery. So if you're inside of our Facebook group, because I'm also in streaming inside of our Facebook group, if you're inside of the group, that group is designated for women who are recovering or looking for some type of help or resources concerning relationship trauma. So they've been through some bad relationships. They may be going through some bad relationships, recovering from divorce or going through a divorce, or just in the middle of deciding what their next steps are or should be if they've gone through some type of relationship trauma. So that's what that group is designated for. And then there's our consulting portion of our business, where we particularly work with small businesses who are looking to have some kind of mental health services, or looking for leadership development, or just training their organization on becoming or creating a culture of mental wellness. So we provide a lot of workshops, a lot of trainings centered around mental health. And so the whole goal of that is bridging the gap between mental health and business. And so if you have connected with me, then you have connected with me for either of those reasons. And so I challenged myself. I put a video out last week because I wanted to challenge myself. I was examining myself, because we all should do that. And I often do that, examine myself, my heart, and see where I'm holding, or what type of things that I'm holding on to that are keeping me bound, that are keeping me limited. Am I letting some fears really keep me back from being in my true self and who I know God has created me to be? And so, hey, if you are joining, is just joining on, I just started. We're going to be talking about cheating on today, and how do you recover from that, or can your relationship even survive cheating? So if you're on, hit the share button, share with someone else, let them know that I'm on. I am challenging myself to come on every day for 10 or 15 minutes talking about a topic. I get asked questions, so I have like a whole line of questions that I will be addressing during these 10 or 15 minutes for the next month. I don't know whether to go on past that point, depending on my scheduling and all of that. But for the next month, I have challenged myself to go live for 10 to 15 minutes every day, Monday through Friday. So hop on. If you're on, please hit that share button. Let me know where you're from and where you're joining from. Thank you for joining with us. I just finished my introduction, and now I'm going to go into talking about the topic, because I know I don't have long, and I know some of you are joining on lunch break. So thank you for joining on today. Okay, so we're talking about cheating. Can a relationship survive cheating? Pop it in the comments. What do you think? Yes or no? Do you think a relationship can survive cheating? Let me see if I can get my comments going here. Yeah, let me see if I can get some comments going. Okay, can a relationship survive cheating? Okay, Facebook just give me the notification that I'm live. Facebook is so slow. It takes forever for them to notify my people that I'm live. I don't understand. I don't Come understand. On, if you're on, please. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, let me share. Awesome. Okay. Share, share, share. Guys, make sure that you share so that this can reach more people than I'm able to reach on my own. If that's one way you can support the mission is by sharing. If you're inside the group, you may not have that capability, but you can tag someone and let them know that I'm on my business page. I'm also on inside of the group, and I'm also on YouTube. So, can a relationship survive cheating? The short answer to that is yes. A relationship can survive cheating. But then there's another part of it of whether or not the relationship should survive cheating. I don't think we can stop that. Can the relationship survive cheating? Yes, we know that. We know relationships that have had some type of infidelity or cheating in the past, and they are surviving. They have overcome the situation. They're in a much better place. The relationship is now thriving. They've gotten some help. So we know that a relationship can survive cheating. Yes, someone said yes if the couple is willing to forgive and work through it. Yes, absolutely. Short answer yes, if the couple is willing to forgive and work through it. So I want to offer some steps on what you can look for, some things that you can look for if this is you, if this topic fits you or someone that you know that is in a relationship. Yes, they must be accountable too. If they're in a relationship and there has been some type of cheating, I want to offer you some strategies at how you can go about determining whether or not you need to move forward or whether or not you need to possibly look at some other options. So, number one, I'm going to be talking about this from two different lenses. If you are in a relationship, let's say you're just dating, the relationship just started, you found it out the person has been texting other people or been seeing other people. I get all kind of things that I be seeing that women say, I've discovered that my man was texting somebody on Facebook, because there's an option on Facebook that you can text privately, and people won't know you text that person because they'll disappear. If you didn't know that, that's an option. You can do that on Facebook. You can do that on some other things too. But the person discovered that, hey, I've been your my boyfriend or fiance or whatever, we're just dating or whatever, is texting other people, calling other people. The other person called me. First of all, if the other person called me and told me, that's a red flag. If we're just dating, I wouldn't suggest you continuing on in that relationship. Here's why. That person has shown you who they are. If they respect, value, honor you enough, then they wouldn't be seeing outside people unless you guys have not made that commitment. Now, there are some times when people enter into relationships and you think that you're in a relationship and the other person don't know that you're in a relationship, but y'all seeing each other like y'all in a relationship, but there has been no understanding that you are in a relationship. So if the relationship is not at the level of commitment where you two have mutually agreed that we are in a relationship together, that there are no outside people at this point that are allowed or we are allowed to interact with outside of the relationship, then my friend, I wouldn't consider, I wouldn't advise you to consider on in that relationship. Now, of course, we still have to go through the process of forgiveness. We don't hold things on to people, hold people in our hearts like that. We don't hold on to unforgiveness. So we still have to go through the process of unforgiveness, still have to go through the process of grieving. But if you are not in a long-term committed relationship and this happens, I would not suggest you holding on to that relationship. I don't care how good they look. I don't care how much money they got. If a person has shown you who they are, you have to believe them. Now, if you are married and you discover that a person that your husband, your spouse, has been cheating, there are some steps. And as a therapist, these are some steps that we absolutely walk clients through when we discover there's been some infidelity in the relationship. Number one, is that person, and this can be applied to any relationship, especially in long-term committed relationships, whether married or not. Number one, is that person completely honest? Has that person completely divulged everything that happened, why it happened, how many partners it's been? Has they completely unloaded how many people it's been, the situation, what they think led them there, and they can't blame it on you because they can't completely blame it on you. Has that person completely divulged everything about cheating? Are they willing to be held accountable? Are they willing to say, here's my phone? Especially if they cheated over the phone. Here's my phone. Here are all my accounts. Here's how you can access so and so and so and so. Here's somebody over here that's going to hold me accountable. Yes, I'm willing to go to therapy and work on my own issues. Yes, I'm willing to go to therapy or counseling or whatever and work on our marriage together. Because when a person cheats, at some point, there's some issues that's going on in the relationship as well. There may be some issues, not all the time. Not all the time, but sometimes there's some underlying issues that are going on in the relationship that need to be addressed. Or if not, there's definitely needs to be some accountability that needs to happen in the future. So, is that person willing to be completely honest and divulge everything? Is that person willing to be held accountable? And is that person, are you willing to forgive and move forward? Now, forgiving and moving forward doesn't mean you bringing it up every time that you're triggered, because you will be triggered when that person don't pick up the phone, or you will be triggered. But are you willing to say, yes, I can forgive you and I am willing to move forward? You don't have to. I think some people think because we got 5 kids or 2, 3, 4 kids and we've built a life together and all this, that you do not have to continue in a relationship where there is cheating. You don't have to. I don't know where we get that from. I don't know where we got off telling people that they have to stay in a relationship and make it work because when there's cheating, you don't have to. That is your choice. That is, you get to choose. That choice is not chosen for you. That is a choice that you get to choose. You do not have to stay in a relationship where there's any type of emotional, physical, sexual, any type of abuse that is present. And if there's cheating, especially repeated cheating, if there's repeated cheating in a relationship, that is a form of emotional and mental abuse. And you do not have to stay in a relationship where a person is dragging you through the mental and emotional abuse. And God knows if it's physical, get out of it. You don't have to stay in a relationship. Now, that brings up another point. They're even talking about sexual abuse, because some people think that just because you're married, that there can't be sexual abuse in a marriage. And that is not true. You can be married and there be some sexual abuse inside that relationship. Intimacy, sexual intimacy still involves consent. And if a person, your spouse, is having sex with you and you have not consented, then that is sexual abuse. Just because you laying there and you didn't object and no, there still has to be consent in sex. Whether married, whether unmarried, whether dating, it does not matter. Consent has to be in a sexual relationship. And in a marriage, you're not privy to my body at any point in time that you want to and you feel like it and you get the urge and all of that, regardless of how I feel. You're not privy to that. There still has to be consent. I still have to agree. And if I find that I'm not agreeing, because we should be agreeing for sex, and that's both partners. If there's some issues in the relationship where I'm not agreeing and I don't feel safe with giving you my body, or I'm always denying you, sex, and I hope I can say that on social media, but I mean, we're grown. So, I mean, why, we're grown. But if we're denying each other our bodies, or if we're denying each other the emotional connection, then there is a reason why. And those issues, my friend, have to be dealt with. I am so tired of seeing relationships and marriages, and I'm almost close to my time. Relationships and marriages that are not thriving because they're holding on to these ideas that have been passed down from generation to generation, through misconceptions in the Bible, and all of these ideas that are not correct. They're not, these ideologies about marriage and relationships that are not correct. A marriage is two consensual people showing up to do the consensual work on a committed level. Can I get somebody to type that? It is two consensual individuals showing up to do committed work in a consensual relationship, which means there is everybody in, or two people, because everybody can't be in your relationship and shouldn't be. But the two people in have to be all in. They have to be all in. It ain't no 50-50. Where we get that from? Where we come up with these ideas? These it's not 50-50. Where that even come from? I don't know. I've been married for, God, will be 11 years this year. It ain't never been 50-50. And even when we thought it was supposed to be 50-50, the marriage was not thriving because a marriage has to be 100% of you showing up with 100% of them in order for oneness to happen. And in that has to be a commitment for each partner to deal with their own stuff. So can I relax, bringing this on, bringing this on back, because I think I went off there for a minute because I felt like somebody needed that and I needed to kind of tear through some stuff. But can a relationship survive cheating? Absolutely. It absolutely can. It absolutely can. We know that. There's evidence all over the place where the Lord can redeem the relationship and turn around marriages. Absolutely. It can happen. It can happen. But it has to be two people, even if the other person, when it's the other person cheated, both partners have to consent that, yes, this is what I want. Yes, I'm willing to do the work to move forward. Yes, I'm willing to forgive. Yes, I'm willing to be completely transparent about what happened. Yes, I'm willing to be completely transparent about my social media stuff, about my computer passwords, about anything that you're having issues. And if that comes up, because if you were the cheater, then you have then created some kind of insecurity in that other partner. So if that issue comes up, if she randomly one day or he randomly one day says, hey, this is what's on my heart, you can't get angry about it. It may be some security or some form of security reassurance that they need in that moment. So don't get angry about it. And even if you are angry, then turn that anger into, okay, well, maybe reframe it is what we call in therapy. Then maybe she's feeling secure, or maybe he needs to be reassured and validated right now. So I'm just going to listen to what they're saying. I'm going to listen to what they're saying. And if there's a question, then I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to answer that question calmly. Now, if the person is always accusing you of different things, and they're always asking you questions, and this is going on past the time that things you have shown to be honest, and you're restoring your sense of integrity, and that person is still feeling insecure, then that's probably more about them than it is about you. That's probably more about them, because if they're saying, I'm going to forgive you, then their actions are going to line or should line up to that after a certain period of time. Not instantly, but over a certain period of time. So I'll take questions. If anyone should have any questions, I know a lot of people, these are sensitive topics. I'm here for the sensitive topics. They don't scare me. I'm here for like I said, I deal with people with relationship trauma, women in relationship trauma, or that are going through tough issues all the time. I'm built for it. That's what God called me to do. So I'm not scared of the questions, but I do understand that a lot of people, because these are sensitive topics, may not feel comfortable addressing them online. That's completely okay. You can always message me your questions. You can email me at Tiffany@drtiffanyross.com. I do answer my messengers fairly quickly, and I do respond to my messengers within 24 hours, just because I'm not always on social media. But I do take questions. And if you would like to share a question in the comments, I'm not sure if I'll be able to see some comments. I'm able to see, some of them I'm not. So if you would just, before we go, hit the share and leave a comment so I can see if I'm seeing your comments. Because if not, I need to fix some stuff for tomorrow. But this is not the last time. I'll be on tomorrow. We'll address another tough topic. We're going to address the tough topics. I don't think there's enough people out there addressing the tough topics. And so I am that person that I am going to address the tough topics, because I feel like people need answers. And they don't necessarily just need answers, because there are a lot of answers everywhere, all over the place. They need answers from a reliable source, and they need answers that are wise. They don't need go, get some sage and spread positive energy all over your house, because that's not going to stop your husband from cheating. And that's not going to stop your man from cheating. And that's not going to make them respect you and honor you. That's not going to teach them boundaries, which is what you should teach them. You teach people how to treat you. So people need answers. They need them from a reliable source, and they need strategies and tips and things that they can actually take back. And so that's what we'll be doing during these 10 to 15 minutes. I am completely over my time. It is 20 minutes past the hour. And so I love you guys. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.